So, lads, today we're going to be talking about the Indiana Fever. We're going to be talking about Caitlin Clark, lads. And we are going to be talking a little bit about free agency and what we have heard from Lynn Dunn. So I'm going to be making an entire video talking about all the things that Lynn Dunn said in her interview. And to be fair, it probably isn't a good thing. Like, for the public, it's fine hearing it. But just in general, it's probably not a good thing for a team's GM to be as open as Lynn Dunn has been. Like, nobody knew anything about Caitlin Clark and Unrivaled, but it was Lynn Dunn who basically said that Caitlin Clark doesn't want to play Unrivaled. She doesn't want to play 3v3. She wants to play 5v5, and she doesn't want to go to Europe. Like, Lynn Dunn has leaked so many things about this team. And from a fan standpoint, it's good, but, like, come on. Come on, Lynn Dunn. Just a little bit. Just be a little bit, maybe a little bit more secretive, if that's the right way to describe it. But Lynn Dunn confirmed one thing, and it's basically that agents are essentially trying to, for lack of a better word, like, I'm going to title the video, force players to Indiana. And I said this so many times. If I am a WNBA agent, I am asking my client one question. Are you willing to delete the Twitter app from your phone? If the answer is yes, then I'm trying to get them to Indiana. That might change in a year or two, but, like, the Sparks are an incompetent franchise. The Wings are an incompetent franchise. Like, that could change if, like, Juju's there and she ends up being as big a star as Caitlin. But we've seen with Aaliyah Boston. Yes, Aaliyah Boston is incredible in her own right. Some of the color commentary stuff. But she is, if we're talking about marketability in the WNBA, she's in the top 3 most marketable players. And I'm not joking. Maybe 4. I would go Caitlin, Angel, Aaliyah, Sabrina. Yeah, I'd say I'll put her third. I'll put her third because she speaks so well and no one really dislikes her. Fee might be up there too. But she's one of the most marketable players in the league. Way more marketable than South Carolina's AJ Wilson, by the way. That's a story for a different day. Either way, though, we are having to talk about this because Lynn Dunn basically said that agents are calling her saying, oh yeah, my player is going to be available for trade. You can trade for her if you want. Yeah, my player is available. And also, agents are calling about free agents looking to play for the Fever. And if you are Lynn Dunn, I don't think a free agent has ever wanted to play for Indiana. This is why they gave Erica Wheeler a max contract. They had the money. They had to give the money to somebody, and nobody wanted it. No one wanted to play in Indiana. Like, that's the problem. Literally nobody wanted to play in Indiana. But Lynn Dunn had to give the money out, which is why we get the Katie Lou contract. The Katie Lou contract. Like, whatever about Erica Wheeler, at least Erica Wheeler was good in the 2023 season. At least she was good in that season. Like, she was just poor last year. But she was better than Katie Lou. Katie Lou played her way out of the rotation. Not even out of starting lineup. She played her way out of the rotation. But this is a very interesting one when it comes to Indiana. Because I think it's going to be an interesting thing to see what teams do. Because I'm looking next year. And outside of the Valkyries, who I don't think are going to be tanking. I think they're going to try win games, but I don't think their roster's going to be good enough. And I think the Sky are going to be in the tankathon next year. Because I'm not 1,000% sure on Kennedy Carter staying. And they're not going to attract any free agents. It's the Chicago Sky. So, like, they're not going to really attract anybody. And they're trying to win. And I don't think it's going to work for the Sky. I think they're going to be in the Flaw J sweepstakes. Or whoever there is in 2026. So I think they're going to be in it. I think the Valkyries are going to be poor based on the fact that they're the Valkyries, they're a new team. Expansion teams are expansion teams. And then after those two teams, like, the Mystics are going to be good, the Sparks are going to be good. So there's no, like, crazy. There's not going to be any teams that are fully in that tankathon. But then it's when you look at, say, the likes of Atlanta Dream. What do they do with Alicia Gray? Because I don't think Alicia Gray necessarily, like, not that she doesn't fit the timeline of Ryan Howard, but it's like, are we trying to win? Are we trying to lose? Are we trying to get better in a couple of years? Because again, Tina Charles could be done. She probably is done. So someone like an Alicia Gray might be available for trade. I'm trying to think of other teams. Like the Mystics have to get rid of somebody. I know they lose one player in the expansion draft, which is probably going to be one of Carly Samuels and Emily Engsler or Jade Melbourne or Sika Kone. But they've just got too much. They got too much at that power forward position. Like Steph Dolson. You can move Shakira Austin to center, especially if you do get the number 2 pick in the draft if you're them, or number 3, and like you get a Kiki or Yafin. So suddenly Steph Dolson's gone. What do you do if you are the Washington Mystics with Julie Van Loo? Does Julie Van Loo want to come back? So there's a lot of players that could be traded or tradable assets that would be really, really good for a team like Indiana. Like maybe Washington, if they don't get Paige, are going to tear it down. Maybe they're going to use all their assets, and you can get yourself an Ariel Atkins, who's the perfect Lexi Hull type role type player. You can get her for maybe 3 first rounds and match contracts with Katie Lou, like something like that. Which I think is, again, a bit crazy. I wouldn't be giving up any future first round picks. But those type of players are available. Like, those type of players are going to be available for trade, depending on what the teams are looking to do. But I would say, if you are a free agent and you don't have Twitter fingers, or you're a free agent and you are cool with staying off Twitter, Indiana should be the number 1 destination to go. Because they've got a max contract slot, or a there or thereabouts max contract slot. And the only better options that have that type of slot are the Liberty, but that's one team. And then if Kelsey Plum leaves the Aces. That is it. They're the only 2 teams. Or if Diana Taurasi retires, maybe the Mercury, but the Indiana Fever are a better spot than the Mercury. And unpopular opinion, I think the Fever are a better spot than the Aces. They just are. They're as good as the Aces are, they're going to be trending downwards. Obviously, they can pay their players more money than anyone else because of that deal. But I'm telling you guys, free agents, people are going to be surprised how many free agents are trying to get their way to Indiana. And whether or not some people are like the players that want to go there, every agent worth a damn is going to want their players in Indiana. They just are. We've saw the deal the Aces have given to players. If that gets greenlit, you better believe. You better believe the state of Indiana. You better believe every state are going to start paying their players. But Indiana, which is a sports city, who currently, I'm making this bold statement. I think, as far as basketball is concerned, the Fever are the number 1 team in Indiana over the Pacers and the Hoosiers right now. I would make that argument that they're the number 1 team in Indiana. So I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana, they were like, Vegas gave $100K. We'll give $300K. We'll give a $300K sponsorship to every player. Victoria Saxton, you hooped in the few minutes you played. Grace Berger, you can go get your $300K. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.